Hello, this is one of your hosts, Daphne Kopatake. In the first episode of this series, we will be focusing on the background of the Rohingya people and who they are. The Rohingya are a Muslim community primarily residing in the Rakhine state of Myanmar. The earliest accounts of the term Rohingya appeared in British literature during the late 1700s to describe the indigenous Muslim minority in Arakan and distinguish them from the majority Rakhine Buddhist population. During World War II, the Japanese took over the British occupation of Burma, which was the former name for Myanmar. While the Buddhist majority supported the Japanese occupation, the Rohingya were pro-British due to their support they received during the British colonial period. This relationship between the Rohingya and the British resulted in even more tension between the Buddhist Rakhine and Muslim Rohingya due to their differing opinions of rulers. Throughout the years, the Rohingya have not sustained a position as an official ethnic group in Burma, leading to heavy discrimination of the minority group. Today, they are considered to be among the most persecuted minorities in the world. Almost all the Rohingya in Myanmar are technically stateless due to their inability to gain citizenship by birth, because of the 1982 citizenship law that failed to include them as an ethnic group. They are considered illegal immigrants of Bangladesh, despite being able to trace their heritage back to Myanmar centuries ago. In recent years, the Rohingya have been able to register as temporary residents with identification cards called white cards. However, these white cards are limited as proof of citizenship and do not allow the Rohingya full rights as citizens of Myanmar, which includes being identified as Rohingya in the census and voting during elections. An account from an anonymous Rohingya describes their experiences in life as being tightly restricted, with an inability to work in the government, pursue higher education, visit the state capital, and leave the northern Rakhine state. The Rohingya are stripped of their basic rights and forced to face oppression in their own state because of their racial denomination and ethnicity. Due to the dangers of living in Rakhine, many Rohingya are forced to flee to seek freedom. Rajuma, a Rohingya Muslim living in a refugee camp in Bangladesh, was forced to suffer the losses of her son, her mother, her two sisters, and her younger brother, all wiped out in front of her eyes. She is just one of many Rohingya persecuted by the Myanmar military in recent years. However, she describes where she grew up as never knowing peace. These centuries of tension between the Muslim Rohingya and Buddhist Rakhine have culminated in extreme violence and almost inescapable persecution against the Rohingya. Now that you have a background of the history of the Rohingya people, the next episode will introduce you to the Rohingya Refugee Crisis.